Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Joe Ellis. I'm a commercial wedding and portrait photographer in Dallas, Texas, and today we're talking about the new FL-700WR flash from Olympus. Okay, so a few months ago I made a video talking about the best flash for your Olympus system. And for the last couple of years, I've been using Godox flashes for all of my Olympus cameras and for my weddings and portraits, and they've been fantastic. The flash I recommend as the top of the line unit for shooting weddings is this one here, the Godox V862O. This is a killer flash. It has most of the features you would want from a flash unit. Great radio communication between units, great power, and then principally one of the key features of this flash is that it has a single lithium-ion battery. And you know, these have been great. They lack only one feature, and I talked about it in that other video. The main thing that these are missing is they do not have an autofocus assist light. And that is a technology that I feel like should be built into every single flash. But for whatever reason, for mirrorless cameras and for Olympus cameras up until this date, it has been missing from Godox flash units. Olympus has had this flash here for a number of years. This is the FL-900WR, or 900R, and this flash is a wonderful full-featured flash that I love. It does have an autofocus assist light, but it does not have radio communication between flashes. It uses an older optical-based system that is not conducive to things like softboxes and putting things behind other things. So I love them. These are great weather-sealed professional build units, and I will use them if it's like it's a single flash on camera that I'm doing. Like if it's just me with a single flash on camera, then this would be my choice. So, you know, what I was really looking for, the holy grail of flashes, is one that offers all of these things in the same system. And so when Olympus came out with this flash, I immediately noticed that this is actually that ticket. This flash has radio communication between flash units. It has an autofocus assist light, and it's small, compact, and professionally built. So if you are looking for the king of the hill, the most feature-full, feature-rich flash that you can buy for your Olympus camera, this is it. This is the FL-700WR. So let's talk about a few of the pros and cons I see of this system versus the Godox, and what considerations you might think about as you're sort of building out your flash kit or thinking about adding flashes to your camera system. Okay, so what are some of the pros of the FL-700WR? It is a little bit smaller than the Godox unit, and that's really nice because it balances more nicely on top of our Micro Four Thirds cameras. These Godox units are the same size as you would have on a big DSLR camera, and they make the whole thing very top heavy. Now, it's not the end of the world, but if you've been using the camera for a long time, having the camera sort of always trying to tip over on you, I definitely would prefer something smaller. So I do love that. I would say in terms of build quality that the two flashes are pretty even. I would probably give the edge to the Olympus unit because it is weather sealed. So if you want a flash that matches the weather sealing of your EM1X or EM1 Mark II, then you're definitely thinking about one of these Olympus units. Another big, I don't know if it was big, but a few things to note that I do love about the design of this flash. It has the single locking switch as a foot versus the Godox units, which have that little rotating plastic ring. And I find that the single switch is far more positive in terms of knowing that the camera is locked on the flash is locked on top of the camera. And the other thing that I've missed is that the Olympus flashes have a locking mechanism for the tilting function and rotation function. And I find that's actually very nice because it won't move on you when you're working, versus the Godox units, which are just tension. You can actually just start using them without touching or moving any kind of switch or lock. So I wouldn't say that's a huge deal, except that over the last couple of years, these have definitely gotten not as difficult to move. So over the years, it could be that these Godox units become floppy in essence in terms of rotation in comparison to having a locking switch on the Olympus flashes. Okay, so Small, weather sealed, tough, fully featured, has radio communication between units. Both of them can be used as transmitters and receivers, so that's all awesome. It has great integration with older strobes. So if you have some older Olympus flash units and you want to bring them up into the modern age with radio communications, Olympus is making this little guy, which is the FR-WR. This little foot actually has on the back of it the ability to choose a channel and a group. So you can take any Olympus compatible flash, put it on this foot, and move it into the Olympus wireless system. So if you have some 900Rs or some older units, you should be able to put them on here, lock them in, and now the entirety of the flash's power settings and whatnot is all handled through the wireless system, and you have essentially upgraded your flash. So that's actually a really cool technology if you are looking to migrate slowly to the newer standard. The other thing that they're making now is this little transmitter here, which is the FCWR. I really love the size and layout of this guy. This is the Godox unit for comparison. This is the X Pro O. So, I would say that these two things are roughly on par in terms of features. The Godox unit can do a few more groups and whatnot, so overall I would say there's probably a little bit more here. And then the other thing the Godox unit has is an autofocus assist beam that comes out of this that is actually a laser, and it is nice except that it doesn't turn off. So you can leave it on all the time if you're doing this, and it's the downside is that this feature is not built into the flash. So for most of the time, if I'm shooting portraits, I'm not in such a dim condition that I need a laser assist beam. And if I'm shooting an event, I've got one of the flashes on my camera, not a trigger. So not a huge deal for me. Now, the one downside to the FCWR in my mind is that it uses AAA batteries in comparison to AA. And I would vastly prefer if they had chosen AA so that there was consistency among battery sizes and you didn't have to carry others. So do keep that in mind. Okay, so let's talk about the downsides of this new flash from Olympus. And I think there's really just two. The first one is that it uses AA batteries. So I think that's more of like a pro and a con, because on the one sense, AA batteries are incredibly easy to find. Rechargeable ones last a really long time. And if you are, say, traveling and you run out of juice, you can always find a set of AA batteries to keep yourself working. The downside is that compared to a lithium-ion single battery system like in the Godox units, you have to change them out, they don't last as long, so on and so forth. So it really depends on your personal preference. I shot for years and years with AA batteries in my flashes and didn't really find it to be that big of a deal, but there you go. Maybe I'm going to add one more. The FL-700WR, so let's go with three things I'm going to say as cons. And this is only until maybe they update this 900 unit, but if you look at the overall guide number of the FL-700, it's less than a bigger unit like the VA62O. So it's not recycling. I have found that this flash recycles incredibly well. It will actually recycle at 10 frames per second if you put it on manual power and down to I think a 16th or 32nd and under power. So when I'm running around shooting pictures with it, I'm never really waiting for it to recycle. But if you are trying to push the maximum amount of light through an umbrella or a softbox, these units are going to give you more juice. So just keep that in mind. And then the last one is really simple, and that is that most of the OEM flash units from all manufacturers have a higher price point than these Godox units do, and that's a major consideration. The FL-700WRs are going to go for like $399, I believe is the MSRP, and this Godox VA62O is $179. The AA version of this flash goes for $155, and you can get all the way down to like a TT350O, which is an even smaller flash that takes two AA batteries or a lithium battery. They have both versions, and those are going for even less money, like $100, I think is the kind of starting price point for those. So my advice for what it's worth, if you are in portraiture, doing portraits with it, and you are looking to add multiple lights and you want system integration across multiple sizes of lights, then you got to go with the Godox units. If you are looking for something that has the maximum amount of features, you need radio communication, and you really want that autofocus assist light, then you got to go with the Olympus unit. I'm in a bit of a quandary because I love my AD200s as my units for doing large group portraits. So I will need to keep part of my Godox system in my bag, even if I switched over to these entirely, unless I can get enough of these that I can string them up together, and that becomes a better solution, which I'm not sure is going to be the case because it means more work in configuring and adding to, my setups. But we'll see. I'm going to shoot these over the next few weeks and kind of report my findings. If anything comes to mind that I find that people need to know, I will definitely let them in. But at a reception, I just think that this is really what I've been waiting for, with one small caveat, and that is that I really want an autofocus assist light, and I really have to have radio communication. But the autofocus assist light that's built into this flash is a white LED light. And that's a problem. When you are shooting a wedding reception and you're in the dark, the white LED light is very distracting. It's exactly akin to having a flashlight that you are turning on and off, firing at people in the dark. And I find that I'm just getting a lot of people will just turn and look at you because it's like, whoa, that's a bright light, because these are quite powerful. I think I've come up with a little hack that's going to kind of be my go-to for the time being. And that is, if you take a piece of like CTO or orange gel and you put it over your LED light on the FL-700WR, you have now created an amber autofocus assist lamp. And this actually works just fine. I can get 10, 12 feet of range out of it, and it's far less distracting. So a little bit ghetto, but until we kind of have like, maybe Philips Hue technology or something built into these LED lights where we can change their color, this is going to be my go-to for the time being. So that's kind of it, guys. Those are some of the pros and cons I see of the system right now. I do think that if you were looking for a single flash or the top-of-the-line flash from Olympus, and you want weather sealing, great build, great recycle times, radio communication, autofocus assist light, the FL-700WR is the very best flash you can buy. If you are looking for things like system integration for portraits, you want to use multiple lights, you really love the lithium-ion battery in this, and the autofocus assist light, which is really the key thing that's in there, is not a big consideration for you, then you can definitely probably be well served by the Godox units. So that's what I've got today, guys. I will report findings as I kind of work my way through using these at events and portraits, and I'll let you guys know. But thanks for watching. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one.